In today's wrap-up, Armenia's Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan paid tribute to fallen heroes of the 2016 April War at the Yerablur Military Pantheon in Yerevan. High-quality elections were held in Karabakh, and the official results of the elections prove that, stated Nikol Pashinyan during the government session on April 2. Armenia's Health Minister Arsen Torosyan stated that the government is taking all efforts to avoid the scenario where hospitals would have to choose who to treat first in case of a sharp increase of coronavirus cases. Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan, accompanied by Defense Minister David Tonoyan, visited the Yerablur Military Pantheon to pay tribute to the soldiers who fought during the four-day war. The armed clashes began in the early hours of April 2, 2016, after Azerbaijani troops attacked Armenian defensive positions along the front line, provoking large-scale confrontations with the defense forces of Nagorno-Karabakh. Armenia reported over 100 casualties and an estimated loss of 800 hectares in the four-day war. According to some sources, casualties on the Azerbaijani side were several times more. Azerbaijani forces committed a number of war crimes during the four-day war, including killing elderly people in the northern village of Talish and beheading captive Armenian soldiers. ՍիվիլNeթ's crew and reporter Tatul Hakobian were one of the few media groups to report from the front line during the war.
Karen, Karen, Կարակի տակ ընկան։
Տեղի են ունեցել բարձր որակի
Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan praised the quality and outcome of presidential and parliamentary elections in Nagorno-Karabakh. At today's government session, Pashinyan stressed that only a few hundred more votes were needed for the main presidential candidate Arayik Harutyunyan to win in the first round, and that opposition parties took the second and third largest number of seats in parliament. Pashinyan, the fact that not a single party won by landslide is proof of democracy. The further development of democracy in Artsakh is also important from the point of view of a fair settlement of the conflict, he said. According to the preliminary results, 5 parties will be represented in the 33-member National Assembly. However, none of the 14 candidates passed the 50% threshold in the presidential race. Therefore, a second round of the elections will take place on April 14. Armenia's Health Minister Arsen Torosyan stated that the government is taking all efforts to avoid the scenario where hospitals would have to choose who to treat first in case of a sharp increase of coronavirus cases. He also commented on the pictures posted on the internet where emergency beds have been placed in the Karen Demirjan Sports and Concert Complex. Torosyan said that beds will be provided not only in the whole of the Karen Demirjan Sports and Concert Complex, but also in gymnasiums in all regions, which will be converted into hospitals for patients with medium and possibly with heavy health conditions. 320 new tests were undertaken on April 1, which resulted in 92 people testing positive for coronavirus. In total, 663 people are positive for coronavirus in Armenia as of April 2, and there are 2 new recoveries, which brings the number of COVID-19 recoveries to 33. Moreover, 5 people died from the virus. ＳիվիլՆեթ interviewed David Yerevan, the founder of Yerevan Projects, one of the biggest restaurant chains in Armenia. Restaurants in Armenia have stopped operating because of the state of emergency, which has already brought significant losses for the previously booming sector. Yerevan said that they halted the opening of 4 new restaurants in Yerevan, but remain optimistic about the recovery.